To be living elemental is to be living a more balanced life. I'm your host, Sara Ann, and the founder of Jade Scott Design. Through my interior design studio and feng shui practice, I awaken clients to the idea that their home is just as essential to their well-being as is to their mind and bodies. Essentially, nature's elements create balance and support, and through the lens of home, we can utilize their power when applied intentionally. Through this podcast, it is my intention to open you up to the idea that by living elemental through mind, body, and spirit will have a significant impact on your home and your life. I decided to record some bonus episodes for the podcast primarily as a point of reference for you to learn more about each individual element. And I'm calling them bonus episodes because they'll be slightly more educational in their format than what I've planned for future episodes. So, for this episode, I want to give a brief intro of the elements and how they can be supportive in our lives. You will probably hear me say many times that to be living elemental means to be living a life in more balance. The universe at large, Mother Nature, human beings, plants, animals, everything that exists is always striving for balance. And that striving for balance is tended to through cycles of life, death, and again, rebirth. The cycle itself is the five element theory. Understanding the five elements is a great way to assess how much harmony and balance is present in your life. So, to provide just a little bit of history, the five element theory originated from Taoism in China over 5,000 years ago and are further derivatives of both yin and yang energies. Chinese five element theory is utilized in other Chinese modalities and disciplines, including traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, martial arts such as Qigong, and Chinese astrology. We can look at a person's feng shui, which is their environment, and even their personal energy to assess how balanced or imbalanced their life actually is. And we typically find one or more of the elements may be out of balance. One of the ways in which we can rebalance is through our living spaces and ensuring that there is a good balance of each element by intentionally applying them. This is at the core of what I do for both design and feng shui clients. And the biggest takeaway I want you to have from the five element theory is that these elements work in a cycle. And it's that cycle that brings about change or transformation. In other elemental systems, such as Western astrology or Vedic systems, they have similar attributes, but the main difference is that they don't necessarily rely on one another. They sort of stand on their own. A really common example of the five element cycle in nature is that of a tree. So you have the tree made of literal wood. Wood feeds or supports fire by creating fuel for the flames. When fire dies down, it leaves ash, which then integrates into Earth's soil. Then this compounds into rock and stone, creating metal. And lastly, as the metal gets cold, it produces condensation, therefore creating water, in which feeds the tree, and the cycle continues again. There are also destructive cycles and weakening cycles. If we stay with the example of the tree, wood typically in a supportive cycle fuels fire, but too much fire can burn down the tree or metal can cut through wood. So that's a great example of how the cycles can become destructive. And we see this happen in nature through natural disasters. And so it's important to realize that we can also apply these supporting cycles to our living spaces. So how can we work with the elements from a feng shui perspective? Ideally, all of the elements should be present throughout your home, more or less equally according to your needs, your desires, any changes you're wishing to make. If they aren't balanced, you might be experiencing mental imbalances in the form of mental blocks or resistance, and or physical imbalances such as illness or accidents. You may or may not even be aware that some of these imbalances are happening. So, in a feng shui consultation, we have many tools to work with you and start uncovering some of these imbalances. But the first step is to look at your superficial surroundings for clues. Now, I've also integrated the 5-element theory into my interior design work. Our signature service is what I call Elemental Interiors. It is our full service offering where we take your project from concept to completion, all while being extremely conscious of the elements and ensuring that we are intentionally applying a balance of the elements through the use of color, shape, texture, and pattern. As you'll learn in the next bonus episodes, each individual element has its own unique qualities that are in forms of shape, color, materials, etc. This process is what allows us to create spaces that are energetically aligned and also aesthetically pleasing. In addition to our services, we have also launched Shop Elemental, which is our online shop that right now is focused on bringing a more spiritual practice into your home. So you will find tools and products to start creating more sacred space for yourself at home. And later in the spring, we're going to introduce our signature Elemental collection, which that will consist of decorative objects and art that you can intentionally bring into your space as they relate to each one of the elements. And so I'm really excited for that. So whether you're familiar with the elements already, or maybe you're learning more about them through this podcast, or maybe you're working with myself or another feng shui consultant, my goal is to be a resource for you to easily apply the 5 elements into your home or space in order to help you restore more balance in your life. So make sure you're on our email list to ensure you're in the loop regarding all of that. And you can go to our website, jadescottdesign.com, to learn more. I've actually created a quick guide to get you started and offer you 5 ways in which you can start to uplift the energy of your space. Just go to our website and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage where you can enter your information, and we'll deliver that right to your inbox. And that's it for today. Be sure to check out the next bonus episode where we're going to begin our exploration of the elements, and we're going to start with water. Water is attributed to introspection, spiritual yin energy, so make sure you check that out next. Your support of the Living Elemental podcast means so much to me. Thank you all for listening and following along. This outlet is becoming one of the best things I've ever done, and I want to continue to support you at home. So in celebration of our launch, I am doing a giveaway for 3 lucky winners who will each receive a home energy kit. Inside these kits will be a few tools you can use to uplift the energy of your home or office, really anywhere you need some increased positive chi or energy. In order to be entered into the drawing, you just need to rate and review this podcast, take a screenshot and email it to our team at jsd@jadescottdesign.com, or you can just DM your screenshot at jadescottdesign on social. I will put all of those links in the show notes for you as well. We'll run this giveaway through the next few weeks, ending after the release of our bonus episodes, where we talk about each element and their attributes and how they all support one another. I thought doing these episodes would be a great reference for you as we expand into the elements going further. So please remember to rate and review. We will announce 3 winners the week of February 6th and hopefully get those to you right before Valentine's Day. So just a small token from us for sharing the love. All of this and more can be found on our website at jadescottdesign.com. Until next time, stay well.